So 2024 is approaching. We got less than a couple days before 2024 hits. And you're trying to figure out, should you be an owner operator or a lease driver, right? Or a lease operator, right? Or a lease renter, right? But in this video, I'm gonna break it down. You should take notes on the questions that I'm gonna give you that you should ask yourself and that you should answer to figure out which one is best for you. So let's jump straight into it. All right, so the first one is gonna be the level of commitment, right? You should figure out and think about what level of commitment are you willing to do to your trucking business, because you're entering into a business, right? Which is in the trucking industry. So no matter if you go to the lease side or to the owner operator side, you should be thinking of it as this is a business, okay? Even if it's a rent truck, right? You shouldn't be under a social security number anymore. You should be under a 1099 with an EIN. You should have a business bank account, and you should be building business credit and building your business. That's a whole nother video. I will do something on that. But that's the route you should be going, and how you should be running your business. No matter if you're a lease driver, lease operator to where you can get the truck at the end, or you just rent the truck, or you are a owner operator. Okay, cool. So that's some fundamental things. But you need to know, you need to figure out what level of commitment are you going to commit to. Like, you know, do you have time, if you get this new authority, do you have time to let your authority build, right? To where you can get the good loads and build relationships with brokers and things like that. Because when you first get your authority, most brokers don't want to touch you for the first 60 to 90 days, something like that. Just depends, right? So you got to ask yourself that question, right? Do you want to commit to buying equipment? Okay, are you gonna go ride around and search, for equipment and buy this equipment, and understand that from the moment you sign for this equipment, because we're in the trucking industry, right? I've never bought a truck with a warranty. Okay, I've put warranties on trucks when I've got them, but I've never actually purchased a truck and got a warranty. Now, I've purchased trucks anywhere from $3,000 all the way up to $70,000 for a truck. All right, I've been doing this for a while now. I've bought a truck for $3,000. An old school Mac was one of my favorite trucks. Had a little 350 Mac engine in it, and it made me a lot of money. Right, put drivers in it and everything, made me a lot of money. So, are you willing to go drive around, fly around, and go look at this equipment, test this equipment out, get you a mechanic? Do you even have knowledge on how to check a truck, and buy a truck? Or are you gonna buy a brand new truck with a warranty, right? Are you ready for that level of commitment to purchase a truck with a truck note or not, right? Because they both have the, pros and cons with it. All of them go to the shop, especially if you already in the trucking industry. You should know that. So it is what it is. But are you ready to do that? Are you willing to do that, right? I've bought trucks, and I flew all around the country buying trucks. I remember a guy had about 14 trucks in South Dallas area off of 45, and he was just getting out the game, and I bought 3 trucks from him. Did good. One of them wasn't too good, but the other 2 was really good, right? I bought them anywhere from like $12,000 to $15,000 a piece. All right, so you got to think about that. Are you willing to lock yourself into this commitment with these equipment? Because when you're a lease driver, most lease companies are doing this 0 down type of deal, walk away lease. So you go over there on the lease side, lease operator side or rental side, or have it structured, right? And guess what? If you don't like it, you can just walk away and just go to another company, right? They're all blackballing people now to when you go to another company, they're like, some companies are like, hey, I don't want to see you the last 2 months and 3 months and whatever on your application or whatever like that. But at the same time, you kind of can bounce around. All right. On the operator side, when you buy this equipment, that's your equipment. The bank don't want to hear about, the market's slow and this and that and all that. Nah, they're not trying to hear that. You bought the equipment, that's your equipment, pay your bill. Period. All right, cool. So next thing is, are you ready to deal with DOT on another level? All right, well, Marco, I already deal with DOT. I'm driving a truck. I got to go in the weigh stations and stay in compliance and all this and all that. Yeah, but that's on a level as a driver. Remember, if you're owner, operator, you have to deal with DOT on 2 levels, not just 1 level. There is no, I got this ticket and I got to take my lick on the driver's side and then I send it in to the office. Nah. It ain't going like that. All right. So you are the office, right? Unless you have somebody in compliance for you. But most people, when they're owner operator, think about it. Owner operator, you're the owner and you're operating the business. That's how most people get started out. It's just them, and them. So you got to think about that. Are you willing to deal with the DOT audits? Are you willing to keep your MC clean? You ain't no bouncing around. You're an operator. You get what I'm saying? So are you willing to deal with these things and keep your MC clean, to where you get the good loads? Are you willing to go through the DOT audits? Are you going to keep all your stuff in one place and keep track of everything and all this stuff, right? So that's something you got to think about as well, all right? So that's on the commitment level. Think about the level of commitment that you're going to do, and figure that out. All right. So the next one is finances, all right? So do you have the finances to start your trucking business, all right? So don't get it twisted. Look, they got people that talk trash about, oh, you're a lease driver, you're not a real owner operator, and whatever. Look, it's a business model. That's it. It's just one business model versus the other. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you ride downtown, right, in any city that you're in, guess what? Every single building that you see, they have some type of lease on it. All right. The people who quote unquote own the business or own the building, they're paying somebody a mortgage. And the people that's probably inside of the building that's running their business, they're paying them a lease. You get what I'm saying? And then probably the person who's, they're probably leasing it out to somebody else again. So don't get caught up into the whole, I don't really have a real business because I'm a lease driver. No, you have a business. It's just a different business model. That's it, period. So do you have the money to start up your business? Do you have the finance, do you have cash? Do you have credit cards, right? Do you have the cash and credit to start up your business? Do you have the cash and credit to run your business? Do you have the cash and credit to have a healthy business, right? Can you go buy a truck? Can you go buy a trailer? Do you have the cash and the credit to have your fuel cards? You get what I'm saying? Do you have the cash and credit to deal with breakdowns? Do you have all these things? You got to figure it out. Now watch this. It's like you're probably like, oh my God, I don't really have these things. Why would I even be an owner operator? Well, this is one of the biggest things where a lot of people don't even know. Most companies, when you go be a lease operator, they don't give you fuel discounts, right? You can literally save sometimes anywhere from $150 upwards to $300, sometimes $400 a week just in fuel savings if you get the right fuel card, right? Versus when you're leased on, they taking all of that, all right? And in a sense, they kind of deserve it because they fronted you with a business. They gave you, hey, look, just come with you and your CDL and go to work and make you some money, right? Straight up. So, just with that, that's one thing. Another thing is most lease companies, they're going to pay you every Friday, once a week, right? And they're going to hold 1 to 2 weeks in the hole. When you're on your own, guess what? You get paid every time you drop. Every time you drop. All right, cool. And then you building up a relationship with the factoring companies that's factoring your loads, and if you do it right, most of the time you can get loans through them. All right, and you can build your business. That's more of an advanced strategy. That's for another video, another day. But you got to think about that, right? Do you have the cash and the credit for emergencies, right? Or do you want to rely on the company to do that when you're a lease driver, right? All right, cool. And when I say lease driver, I'm talking about you're signing on to someone. They already have the equipment. You're driving the lease truck, not like you have your own equipment and you're leasing on, right? Not so much of that, okay? And that's another model as well. But right now we're talking about, should you go the own operator route with your own equipment, or should you be a lease driver and go jump into someone else's equipment? All right, so that's the finance part of things, right? The next thing, which is very important, that you need to ask yourself, okay? You need to ask yourself, do you want to, have equity? And if so, how much equity? All right. What am I saying? Equity. How much of ownership do you have? How much, ownership and equity do you have inside the business? How much is for you? All right. As a lease driver, just what you drive, you own your CDL and what you earn. That's basically it. But as an owner operator, you're steady paying off. Even if you own it and you don't have any notes on it, well, you own it. That's your equipment. You have the titles. Even if you are paying notes on it, guess what? As long as you keep up the notes on it, whether you go to work or not, well, that's your equipment, right? And you're paying it off, every week, every month, however you got that set up. And you're buying into the business and you're earning equity in the business, right? Especially if you're an operator and you have a business with a couple of trucks and a couple of drivers and stuff like that. You can sell the business or whatever, but I'll get into that next. But how much equity do you want in the business, right? After a year, do you want to look at it and see that, well, I have 4 years on this truck, I paid off one, right? Or I might want to sell it, right? Or I paid on this truck because it can be good on either side. Now that's on the operator side, right? But on the lease side, guess what? You can 100% write off that lease. 100%, all right? You can do that. That's some more advanced strategies. I was about to get into the whole, you can do this and not pay taxes and use it to buy real estate and all that. My mind just be going like that. That's just how my mind works, but I'm not going to get into that in this video, right? Keep it simple. So think about how much equity you want to have in a company, especially long term, right? Remember, the first thing is commitment. How much do you want to commit to it? So next thing is, freedom. How much control and freedom do you want, right? Yeah, you do have a level of freedom as a lease operator, right? A lease driver, right? You can go, most of the time you can go where you want, no forced dispatch, book whatever loads you want. At least if that's the kind of company that I would pick and go with. But I'm more advanced with knowing the ins and outs or whatever. But that's probably what that's more of what I would go with, right? I've only done a lease 2 times. So most of my career has been on operator style, on operator status, owning my own trucks, doing it myself, funding everything, whatever like that. But the 2 times that I have done it, I had total control, and it was a great lease. I built a relationship with both the owners and things like that too. I had my own customers, and we just had a good build. We had a good build. I actually got multiple trucks with him, so it was actually a good deal. You know what I mean? But anyway, when I'm talking about control, what level of control and freedom do you want? Think about it. How do you want to run? What do you want to run? Do you want to take the truck and go somewhere else? Most lease, they're not going to let you do that. That's how they make their money, is when you run under their company and you're leased on to them. Okay, so you got to think about that, right? Last but not least, on the equity side, are you looking to scale? Right? When I say scale, are you looking to grow your trucking business with equipment? Right? There's multiple ways you can grow into it, because when you're in the business, you're going to be learning a lot of things. You can, become a dispatcher one day. You can become a broker. And you can swap it up, right? You can, open up a piece of a business like that and do that as well. If you're married, you can get your wife or your husband or whatever daughter can help you open that up and do these type of things, right, as well, and help you out. But do you want to scale, right? Most lease companies, they're not looking to give you more than one truck. They're just going to give you one truck. You have to drive that truck, and you're just going to make your money. So I hope this helps. Going into 2024, replay this video, ask yourself these questions, write it down, and really think about, how do you want to structure yourself going into 2024? Have your game plan. Don't go into it blind and just, I'm just going to try something out. No, really put some thought to it. Think about it. Remember, these things, how much commitment, look at your finances, how much equity do you want to have into it, and also think about, how disciplined you are and what level you're on to jump in the game, right? But because if maybe you're just not ready to jump into the owner operator side of things, right? And that's okay. Don't trip on yourself. Don't get caught up into, this is not my truck, and man, forget all that. Look, go make your paper, man. Go make your money, straight up. So hope this video helps. I'll see y'all soon in the next video. Peace.